interception. Incomplete pass at the New York Giants 30.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you give the video a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or maybe share the video, I'd greatly appreciate it. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you. Yesterday, or last night, the Giants had a dreaded nighttime practice. So, and you know, it had some excitement to it. No all-out brawls or anything like that, but there's quite a bit to talk about, as there pretty much is every day. You know, most of it's good, but you know, there's a little bit of the bad. And the Giants did sign, wide receiver Andy Jones and quarterback turned tight end Tommy Stevens. All right, they had them in to take a look at, you know, a couple days ago. They didn't offer him a contract right away, but you know they did. They offered him a contract. They signed him, and now they're on the team. And you know, I don't know if they're actually going to make the team, but they're out there trying their best. And it works out, I guess, kind of good in a way that they did sign Tommy Stevens, because unfortunately last night Levine Toilolo suffered a torn ACL, and he will miss the season. Now it's, you know, it is what it is. You know, guaranteed pretty much every practice somebody does something and they're gone for the whole season. Hopefully, if we're lucky, this will be the only major catastrophe we've had. Levine, not that he's productive in the pass receiving game, but he was used quite a bit as far as a blocker, and he was probably going to make the team. And you know, now we're going to need to find somebody in there, you know, to take his place. Maybe Caden Smith can step it up a little bit. Maybe he can get some more reps. We'll have to wait and see. We still got a boatload of guys. We still got 7. All right, tight ends. We got Evan Ingram, right? The newly signed Tommy Stevens. Right, we got Kyle Rudolph. Right, don't forget about him. Then we got Nakia Griffin-Stewart, Cole Haikutini. I love saying that. Caden Smith, and Levine Toilolo. You know, he's out. But then we have Rice and John, who's on the COVID-19 list. So, you know, I'm not sure when he'll be coming back, but if he does, that'll make 7 that we have. So we're not keeping 7, but you know, again, we'll have to wait and see. They're going to keep. They're going to be keeping at least 3. You know, do you keep a 4th? We'll have to wait and see once again. Now Tommy Stevens, right? He it's kind of cool in a way. You know, he played at Penn State. All right, his last year he transferred to Mississippi State. He was a quarterback at Penn State too. All right, but when he transferred to Mississippi State, all right, he was the quarterback for his senior year. All right, but his first few years in college he was at Penn State. All right, so now he gets to reunite with some old teammates of his. All right, you got Cam Brown, you got Saquon Barkley, and you got Austin Johnson. So. And then Tommy Stevens, all those guys were from Penn State. And you got, of course, the coach, Captain Chaos, the defensive line coach. You know, he came from Penn State as well. So we got a nice little Georgia flavor, and we got some Penn State flavor going on. We got 2 good quality universities representing for the New York Giants. Then we had Kenny Golladay. You know, he pulled up and he walked off the field, you know, just I guess before the brawl on Tuesday. And you weren't exactly sure how bad things were going to be with him, because remember, he's had hamstring problems his whole career. All right, and you know, that seems like the worst has been avoided. Thank goodness. What I was kind of reading, it was kind of more of like a tweak than like a strain or a pull or anything. So maybe, you know, because it wasn't like he was going on long power. He was running, stopped, and he planted his foot, and you know, I mean, it was a short pattern over the middle, he dropped the ball, and he just kind of came up and was just holding back and he just got the training and they just walked off the field. I mean, if you ever pull a hamstring or something like that, you kind of know it. And, when you're an athlete like him and he's missed some time and all of that, and he's very, very conscious of his hamstrings, I'm sure. So if he feels anything at all in his hamstrings, he's going to, and you just go up to Judge, and you understand, he don't want you on the field if you're not, they say 100%, but, there's no football players out there 100. You do a couple live drills, you're not 100%, I guarantee you that. But the thing is especially with the hamstring, okay, you don't want to make it worse. So if he feels a little something there, let's get a little, get him off to the side. Maybe, he can, a few days or so, maybe he can recuperate, and we'll see. Just hope for the best. But at least right now, it doesn't seem like it's something, it's going to keep him out long term. Thank goodness. All right. Unfortunately, we got, some of the bad news here. We got, McKinney Golladay, he's hurt, But then we got Joe Looney, all right, who just signed with the Giants a few days ago. He retired. So, I don't know what it is. I mean, within the past, 7-8 days, or Kelvin Benjamin's retired. Todd Davis came in. The next day, he retired. Joe Looney came in. He played a few days, practiced with us, and now he's retiring. He said that it felt like it was maybe just that time to stop and walk away. He said he didn't want to, got to give the man some credit. Didn't want to take up a roster spot. He said his body wasn't giving him what he needed. So apparently, I guess maybe after doing those push-ups and running those the sideline or the 100-yarders or whatever he ran. I mean, I guess maybe his body was breaking down, and you got to give the man some credit. He came out, he tried, and if it didn't work, it doesn't work. I even read that he ran a lap with Daniel Jones because they screwed up on a snap, and he said he really didn't seem to mind that at all. They screwed up on a snap, center and a quarterback ran a lap. So, but the man tried. You got to give him credit. So now, I don't know, we're going to pick the phone up and try to get Austin Ryder back in the building here, because we didn't wind up signing him. I don't know if he signed with anybody else, but he had some pretty good, impressive numbers with the Kansas City Chiefs, and he won't come too expensive. The only problem, I said, the beauty with Joe Looney was that he played both guards and center. Okay, Austin Ryder has just been a center, and I know Judge is looking for flexibility, and as I said, that's one huge thing with Joe Looney. He also has a familiarity with Jason Garrett as well, too. And some Jason Garrett's offense is is what Joe Looney ran when he was with Dallas. So there's a lot of familiarity to it. Plus, I said he has that flexibility. Austin Ryder doesn't. So I don't know. If you're going to sign Austin Ryder, I mean, he'd have to specifically be a center, or he's going to have to be. You're going to have to sign somebody like him and use him as a backup. So, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I'm sure they'll be bringing other guys. I mean, because if one guy goes, I'm sure they're out there looking to bring somebody else in. So, will it be Austin Ryder? Who knows? Will it be somebody else? I'll keep an eye out and see what goes on there. Now, they have a lineup, I have lined up a workout, all right, for former first-round pick Josh Doctson, okay? I mean, he was drafted by, at the time, the Washington Redskins. I can say that because in 2016 they were the Washington Redskins. And he had a couple good years at TCU. In 2014, he had 65 catches for TCU for 1,018 yards. He had 11 touchdowns. All right, averaged 15.7 yards per catch. I mean, he's a college number, so they're a little different, but they're impressive. His senior year at TCU, he caught 79 balls for 1,327 yards, averaged 16.8 yards reception. Right, he had 14 touchdowns. Very impressive. He's 28. He's 6'2". He's 205 pounds, so he's got some size. He's not Kenny Golladay, but he's over 6 foot, so he's got some size. From 2016 to 2018, he was with Washington. All right. His first year, I think he only played in like 2 games or so with the Redskins. But in 2017, 2018, that's when he played a decent amount. 2019, he went to the Minnesota, right, and he played. He played in 1 game. He played what I read. I think it was 7 snaps. He played and didn't get a ball thrown his way or nothing like that. And then after the game, they waived him. So, but 2017, 2018, he was productive. I mean, pretty much his career. All right, so you can pretty much 2020 he sat out due to COVID. Okay, so Josh Doctson, all right, in his pretty much between 2017 and 2018. Okay, he had 81 receptions for 1,100 yards, 13.6 yards of reception, and he had 8 touchdowns. So I mean, we're talking all pro numbers here? No, absolutely not. Are we talking he's going to be bursting onto the scene and taking over, first string reps? No. But I mean, if he was out last season, so if he's not keeping himself in shape, he could be in some trouble. But hey, it's worthwhile taking a look at him. He was out there. I believe also, when I was reading that the Eagles were also kind of considering talking about maybe bringing him in to have a look at him as well too. So if we could get him in, sign him before the Eagles get him, man, that'd be cool. After they did with us in the draft with the DeVonta Smith. But so we got him coming in. Hey, keep your fingers crossed. What's the worst that can happen? Also, I read that Shane Lemieux was out there as well too. Pretty impressive, huh? So I mean, I'm sure they got a pitch count on him. They'll be taking it easy on him and all that stuff and everything. But apparently, from what I read, he was out there on the field last night. So very, very good. Then we got Joe Judge. All right, we got he answered some questions, about the fights and all of that and everything. And you know what I think down deep inside, I think he's pretty happy about it. I know he was pissed off and mad and all of everything, but when he was talking in this press conference, of course, almost like every question asked is about the fight, The thing he was mostly pissed off about was that what happened there was something that could hurt the team. Like, it wasn't so much like what happened in practice. Okay, but practice, what you practice, you want to bring over into the game, all right? So, but what happened in practice is that, you had a late hit, there's a flag, then you get into a fight, right? Then you get thrown out of a game. You got a big fight. A couple guys maybe get thrown out of the game. Obviously, you got 15 yards against you. Maybe coaches get thrown out of the game. Players get thrown out of the game. Then there's fines and all kinds of stuff. So all that does is what he kept pointing out. All of that stuff does is hurt the team from winning a football game. So it's not so much, it happened in practice. It's like, they're preaching like what you do in practice carries over to the regular games. So that's pretty much, the biggest thing. And he was kind of saying, like, after it all happened, he said he was saying something like the guys weren't walking off the field, like holding hands and laughing and stuff and all that, right? But it was kind of, by the time they got to the locker room, a lot of it was kind of forgotten. It was over with. And it's football. It is what it is. But the thing is, okay, like with having the guys do push-ups and running and doing laps and all that stuff, that's all cute, fine, and fancy, all right? You can get away with that maybe for a year or so, okay? But somewhere along the line, you got to win, okay? Now, I'm not saying he's got to win a Super Bowl this year, and if a lot of guys wind up getting hurt and stuff like that, I understand if we don't, But, I mean, for the most part, Daniel Jones is healthy, Saquon's healthy, the defense is healthy, we get some reduction from the offense and the defense and all that. And I'm not saying we got to be, 12-5, but we were 6-10. If we're not at least 9-8, you're going to start hearing some murmurs. Because we're 7-10 or 6-11, kind of like what we were. We spent all that money in free agency, brought all these guys, signed Leo the Lion, and all these guys, and all these draft picks, and all this stuff and everything. And we have like 25 coaches and assistant coaches on our staff, and all of this stuff and everything. all his talking is going to be pretty much meaningless. And if he keeps this up, if he doesn't turn the team around, meaning winning, okay, somewhere along the line he's going to have guys he's going to want them to do push-ups and this and that, and some of the guys are going to tell him, go screw off. So you have to win. As I said, I'm not saying he's got to win a Super Bowl or be 12-5, but man, you got to be, if you're going to keep this up, they better be at least 9-8, 10-7 this year. All right, they better see some good improvement. All right, because as I said, there's mutiny on the bounty there, and if you don't start, stuff like running laps and doing push-ups and all that stuff's all pushed aside if you win. If you win, you'd be amazed what the guys will do for you, okay? But you got to win. The only one thing that I can really say is that we won 4 Super Bowls, okay? 2 with Bill Parcells, 2 with Tom Coughlin, and neither one of those guys took any shit, okay? You listen to YouTube videos or whatever about Michael Strahan. He hated Coach Coughlin, couldn't stand him. He's telling them what to do. You have to be 5-10 minutes early every time, or you're going to get fined for a meeting and stuff like that and all. You don't come in there and have tell 10, 12-year veterans, come in 5 times, I'm going to fine you, or do this or do that. You don't do that and get away with it unless you win. And you you listen to Michael Strahan now, and Michael Strahan absolutely loves Tom Coughlin because he got it. He got it up here. He's like, everything that Coach Coughlin did was to make us become a winner, and we did. And we won 2 Super Bowls with him. And not only that, but we won 2 Super Bowls with Bill Parcells too. So if Joe Judge's attitude and meanness and pissed off and toughness and all that is any indication from our previous coaches, all right, I think Joe Judge just might be onto something. And within hopefully a few short years, we might be raising Super Bowl number 5. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!